On Instagram, I follow the tag Sharpening, and I saw an individual on there using this device attached to a kitchen knife sharpening. I shot him a direct message asking him if he had any more for sale. I'd love to buy one. He told me at the time that he was not selling them. A few weeks later, he contacted me and said he'd like to send me one. And it appears he's now producing these. This is his email information right here. I'll have all this information, of course, in the description. His Instagram account is Konigsberg Sharpening. He's a gentleman from Russia. I do believe we have a little bit of a language barrier. I know some of the times when I message him, my English isn't quite understood, and I have to use simpler terms. But he's made this device, and he calls it the Crutch. And it's a clamping system, just like you would see in the KME or even the Lansky. It's got 2 bolts and a third one here to get everything lined up. And the way it operates is it comes with these different sized screws, and you take your sharpening stone, freehand of course, you attach your knife inside the clamp, and this provides the set angle for you. Now I'll put this mat down here so it doesn't rub up against my countertop and scratch it all to pieces, because Lord knows I want to keep my countertop pristine. But seriously, it actually helps. It helps this glide across a little bit smoother. Not required, but you know, anything that helps, I'm all for. Currently I'm using the smallest screw set that he's provided. You would be just as capable using the longest one. When you set this, you can adjust the angle by unscrewing this wing nut and then screwing the screw up or down and adjust your angle. To actually find your angle, once you've got your knife clamped in, take an angle cube, zero it out on your stone, pick the angle you want to sharpen at, and set it with your angle cube, and just adjust the screw up or down until you get the angle you want. It's real simple concept, but nobody else has made it. Now he also engraved my name on this, I guess with a laser engraver, which I thought was a sweet little touch. I'm gonna go ahead and test it out tonight. I used it last night just very quickly, sharpening up one knife, and it was a 0 ground knife. All I did was put a quick 18-degree bevel on it, and it worked fine. I did have some issues with the tip, but I'm not sure if that's just because I need more practice at it, or if there's going to be a problem with this. I'm going to have to play around with it and get used to it and figure that out. So what better way to do it than actually use it? I figured I'd show it off for you guys, let you get a look at it while I'm testing it out. So stick around. So the knife I'm going to test out tonight is just one of those Ganzo knives. Nothing out of the ordinary. Just want to get a feel for this. And with all clamping systems, it helps to know where you've clamped it in case you need to take the knife off. So what I did is place the clamp on the knife, screwed these 2 screws down, and then once they were kind of tight, tightened up this middle screw. And what that does is it raises the platform up and makes the jaw really bite down on the knife. And this is very secure. I've got no worries about it moving. Well, as I've found with just about every clamp system I've ever used, going at lower angles produces problems. In this scenario, going at 18 degrees with the way this blade is shaped, I'm not going to be able to hit that angle without grinding into the clamp itself. Now, I think there might be a way I can circumvent that but I'll have to test it. I'm not sure if you can see that, but I've got it set at 18.3 degrees on this side and 18.25 degrees on this side. Just gotta mark the clamp where I'm gonna start. And like I said, I'm gonna try to circumvent grinding into this clamp. And the way I'm gonna do that is I'm gonna really ride the edge of the stone. And since this is all fixed anyway, it shouldn't be that big of a problem. Can you guys tell where my biggest problem is going to be? It's going to be at the tip. So I can already see where I'm grinding in a new bevel. I'm not sure how well this will show up for you guys, but I will make the attempt. So I'm starting to grind in the new bevel, which is much larger than where it was set. I had just a little teeny tiny 23, 22 degree bevel on there before. I'm going to scoop my stone back just a hair so I don't ride off of this and change my angle. So maybe 18 degrees wasn't a good angle to set this for. Probably should have went 20. I'm having to reprofile this knife on a 400 grit stone, which is not ideal. I'm gonna have a really large bevel though. I'm not 100% certain this is a true 18 degree bevel. I think this might actually be even lower. I'm thinking it's probably closer to 14 degrees considering the size of the bevel. Not what I was looking for. So I'm gonna have to figure out, based upon that, or figure out a better way to get the angle on this using the angle guide. Alright, I finally developed a burr down in the base. And I just need to work the belly a little bit and the tip. Got a little bit left at the tip. Now to flip over, you can either go in this direction, or you can actually use your other hand and start training your other hand to sharpen. My left hand's about worthless though, so I'm not going to do that and embarrass myself, and I did grind into the actual clamp trying that. I've actually got a burr already in the base. I'm gonna have to double check the angle. Because this bevel size is way smaller than the other. So I don't know if it's just ground incorrectly on the main grind, or if I've got one side set way more acute than the other, which is very possible. This is all still very new to me, so I may not have done something correct. Okay, I've got a burr across that whole edge. I'm going to do a few back and forth strokes just to break it off, clean things up. Still got a little burr left. There's still some burr left. Just give it a quick strop, get that off. But that's as sharp as any knife as I've ever produced. It's an asymmetrical grind, of course. I'm not going to test anywhere specific. I'm just going to test randomly. I'm going to try to speed through this. It's 84. 68. And 98. So using the edge on up edge guesser, averaging out the score, comes out to 83. That's sharp, guys. It really is. That is a very, very nice edge. Obviously, I need more experience with this thing. This is brand new to me. It's only the second time I've used it. I doinked this one up pretty badly. Obviously, it'll work, even if you doink things up. But things did not turn out the way I wanted them to. So this is the larger size. I think this is actually around 14 degrees, maybe even more acute. I'm fixing to go stick it on the hapstone and find out. And this is the smaller size bevel. Notice how straight they are. Now the bevel on this side at the tip fattens up, but you got to keep in mind, I thinned this knife out myself. I may not have done a good job keeping things symmetrical, so you can't blame the sharpener on that. Or rather, you can't blame the crutch for that. That may just be the fact I left too much material on this side as opposed to this side. Anyway, guys, if you want to get in touch with this gentleman and grab one of these for yourself, again, this is his email address. Clamp is fairly wide. It is I believe these are inches. It's 1 1/4 inch, just a little over. Move that over so you guys can see that. Just a little over 1 1/4 inch. So it is fairly wide, which means it'll accommodate most kitchen knives. If I'm not mistaken, he does make them in more narrow shapes. My only gripe at this point is that right there. But that's true for all clamping systems. It's possible to grind into the clamp itself the lower your angle is set. Appreciate you guys watching. If you have any questions or comments, as always, leave them below. Y'all have a good one.